a restful day.
And we don't need to rhyme.
Oh wow, it is really, we are very, very bright.
See?
You're right.
Looks like something out of the Elizabethan age. It doesn't go any lower.
Very easy, Rabbi. Just switch places with the cantor. He'll be upset. He'll be upset for a few minutes. You want to do your melody?
Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom. 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So glad you're joining us here at Temple Ramat Zion on a slightly warm, but a beautiful summer Friday night together with Chazan Friedman and Bob Hall. We're going to begin on page 10 with Yedid Nefesh, page 10.
Yedid Nefesh Al-Rahman, Yedid Nefesh Al-Rahman, B'Shochadach, El Ritzonach, B'Shochadach, Yalai, El Ritzonach, Yarutz Avdach, Kemo Ayal, Ishtachave Lailai, Yalalai, Uladara, Kier Avlo, Yedidutach, Minofet Suf Lailai, Yalalai, Vecholtach.
Continue on page 11. Page 11 at the top, Lechuner on it.
Lechuneranina, Ladonai. Lechuneranina, Ladonai. Naria, Letzoyishenu, Ikadma, Malam, Betodah. Naria, Letzoyishenu, Bizmiron, Nariano. Lechuneranina, Ladonai. Lechuneranina, Ladonai.
Page 14, Yismechu Hashamayim.
Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim. ותגל הארץ, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ישמחו השמיים, ותגל הארץ, יירם הים, יירם הים, יירם הים ומלואו, יירם הים, יירם הים, יירם הים ומלואו, יירם הים, יירם הים, יירם הים ומלואו, יירם הים, יירם הים, יירם הים ומלואו.
Gonna head to page 20. Page 20, the bottom three lines. Roman.
רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להקודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להקודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להקודשו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להקודשו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. כי קדוש אדוני אלוהינו רוממו. רוממו אדוני אלוהינו והשתחוו להקודשו.
Turn ahead to page 23. Page 23 for Lechadodi. We'll do verses 1, 2, 3, 8, and 9.
לקראת קלה, ולבני שבת נקבלה, לכל אדוני לקראת קלה, ולבני שבת נקבלה, לכל אדוני לקראת קלה, ולבני שבת נקבלה, לכל אדוני לקראת קלה, ולבני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבורך, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם עומדים פרן בלבכי לילה 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 לך אותי, לקראת קלה, ולבני שבת נקבלה, לכל אדוני לקראת קלה, ולבני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקורה ברכה, מראש מכתב נסוכה, צומח זה במחשבת תחילה, לילה לך אותי, לקראת קלה, ולבני שבת נקבלה, לכל אדוני לקראת קלה, ולבני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך עיר מלוכה, קומי יצאי בתורה וכל רמות שבט במקומך, והוא יגמון עליו חייכם לילה 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 לך לקראת קלה, ולבני שבת נקבלה, לכל אדוני לקראת קלה, ולבני שבת נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפרצי, ואת אדוני תריצי, על יד איש ונפרצי, ונשמחה ונהגי לילה 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 לך לקראת קלה, ולבני שבת נקבלה, לכל אדוני לקראת קלה, ולבני שבת נקבלה.
rise if you're able. Turn to the open door, whichever room you're in. 25, the final verse. Ohib Shabbat.
Ohi v'shalom ateret bala, גם בשמחה ובצרה, טול גמוני הסגולה, באוי חלה, באוי חלה. לך לך לקראת קהל, פני שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת קהל, פני שבת נקבלה. לילה לקראת קהל, פני שבת נקבלה. לך אדוני לקראת קהל, פני שבת נקבלה.
Seated if you're still standing. We continue on page 27. Page 27, Mizmor Shir, the Psalm for Shabbat.
מזמור שיר ליום שבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. מזמור שיר ליום שבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון. להגיד בבוקר חסדך, ואמונתך בלילות. עלי אסון, עלי נבל, עלי היגיון בחידון. מזמור שיר ליום שבת, טוב להודות לאדוני, ולזמר לשמך עליון, ולזמר לשמך עליון.
How wonderful are your works, O Lord. 8 lines up, Hebrew, 5 lines up, transliteration.
מעשיך מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך, מה גדול מעשיך מאוד עמקו מחשבותיך.
Please continue privately through the bottom of page 28.
אדונו בסבב השנים ורעננים יהיו, להגיד כי ישר אדוני, סורים אליו לתבוא.
Page 29.
אדוני מחלבש לבש, אדוני עוזי תזר, אל תיכון תבל בל תימוהו. עדותיך נמנו מאוד לביתך למד מודש אדוני לאורך ימים.
Those in mourning, those observing yahrzeit, please rise and join together with me in the Mourners Kaddish. If you're joining us through Zoom, you can unmute your microphone so that we can all join together in the Kaddish. We're on page 30. Yitgadal,
Gadol v'yikdash shemei rabah.
Yalmad
Yalmad yivrach
Yitgadal,
v'teh, yamlich malchuteh.
Chaychonu
T'chayirenu v'yimenu
Israel,
Israel.
Man
V'galam b'zman karev.
Amen. Yehish me Rabam Barach Elam Melamaya. Yitbarach.
Yishtabach, Yitar, Yitram, Yitnaseh. Yitadar, Yitaleh, Yitalal, Shemei Kudashah, Tishbachata v'ne'eman.
Amen.
Yeh Shlama Rabba Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. V'seh Shalom b'Rabah, v'yaseh Shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Amen.
Rise if you're able, page 39A for the bar. 39A.
Yai la 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 la. Yai la 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 la. Yai la la
You may be seated. Please join with me in the English, page 39A, the far left-hand column where it says God and Nature, an interpretive translation. Beloved are you, eternal God, by whose design the evening falls, by whose command dimensions open up, and eons pass away, and stars spin in their orbits. You set the rhythms of day and night, the alternation of light and darkness sings your creating word. In rising sun and in spreading dusk, creator of all, you are made manifest. Eternal, everlasting God, may we always be aware of your dominion. Beloved are you, Adonai, for this hour of nightfall. Umavir Yahom mevi laila mabdil ben yom vein laila. Adonai tzavaot shemo el chai v'kayam tamidim lochaleu lelam bahed. Baruch atah Adonai hamariv aravi. Page 40, we sing together Ahavat Olam.
Ahavat olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot, chokim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadta, Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shotvenu chumeinu nasiach bechukecha v'nismach b'divrei toratecha u'mitzvotecha leolam va'ed. Rech Yabeinu Uvahem Negeyam Amalam ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Page 41, the Shema.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
Please continue privately on page 42.
אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת ומנקוזות, וקיים עלינו כי הוא
43.
וגדולתו.
Please join me on 43b. 43b we'll read together in the English. You proclaimed the covenant on the seventh day.
You declared it and decreed it. We listened and heard it.
You loved this day we inherited, delighting in its remembrance.
And began its command with the word remember, Zachor.
From the time you bestowed it, joy filled the hearts of Jeshurun, the people you redeemed.
Securing the cause of the righteousness.
You exalted Shabbat as a sign between us forever. 6 days your world was formed. On the seventh day you rested.
And on this day, Israel, your people, rest.
To honor your name, they sing songs of praise to the one deserving of praise. We continue on page 44. Michamoch.
ומלכותו ברצון קיבלו עליהם משה מרים ובני ישראל, חנו שירה בשמחה רבה ואמרו כולם. מי כמוך האלים אדוני, מי כמוך נטע בקודש נורא תהילות, עושה פלא נורא תהילות, עושה פלא על כבודך רם בניך. וכהיה Adonai Yinuch Leolam Mevaed Nemar Ki Vada Adonai Et Yadmo Galo B'Yad Chazak Mimenu Baruch Atah Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Continue on page 45. Sing together Hashkiveinu. Prayer for us.
Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Ushmar Zeteinu Uboheinu Lechayim Urshalom Meyata B'Yadonai Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Ashkiveinu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom v'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Ufros Haleinu Sukat Shelomecha Baruch Atah Adonai Haporei Sukat Shalom Aleinu V'Yal Kol Amo Yisrael V'Yal Yerushalayim.
Please rise if you're able, page 46, Vishamra 46.
V'Shamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat Lasot Et
No, they no, Roger. They do it. They take the SIM card out of my phone.
V'Shamru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat Lasot Et HaShabbat Le'dorotam B'ritolam Beini u'bein B'nei Yisrael Oti Le'olam Le'olam Beini u'bein B'nei Yisrael Oti Le'olam Sheshet Yamim Adonai Et HaShamayim Ve'et Haaretz Bo Vayom HaShvi Shabbat Vayinafash Ve'shabaru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat Lasot Et HaShabbat Le'dorotam B'ritolam Ve'shabaru B'nei Yisrael Et HaShabbat Lasot Et HaShabbat Le'dorotam B'ritolam Yitgadal ve'yitkadash Shemer Rabbah Ve'alma nivra kirutem yamrit malchuteh V'chayechon u'yamechon V'chayedechon Beit Yisrael Magala Magala Omizman Kahiv Ve'imra Yehish Me'rama Me'marach Alam Almi Al-Maya Yitbarak Ve'yishtabach Vitpa'ar Vitrama Vitaseh Vitandar Vitale Vitalal Shemada Kudesha Berihu Le'ela Mikol Mirchata Ve'shirata Tush Bechata Ve'nechemata Tamira Rabbi Alama, Veimaru.
This is the time where we get to share what we're grateful for, what we're thankful for, something good from this past week or something good you're looking forward to in the coming week. Barry's in control of the meeting, so if you would like him to recognize you, if you can raise your hand electronically, that's going to be the easiest way for him. It's in the participant box. You can raise your hand. Or you
Rabbi, I can't hear
Can't hear
you.
you,
I
Rabbi.
cannot hear you.
can't hear me.
Yeah,
Nope.
Rabbi's
No.
faint.
So muted.
Can't hear me at all?
We hear you a little bit.
Yes, but you're not loud enough.
How about now?
Less.
No,
No. No.
Closer.
Being our friend. I'm
Different-
right up
nope.
on the mic.
Is that better?
Is that better?
Nope.
It's a little better.
A little bit.
Not even.
Not even.
No.
Try this one.
I'm an optimist.
Is this better? Is this better?
No.
Nope.
What difference?
No?
Oh.
Neither?
I don't know if we hear that microphone at all.
Well, he just used the Cantor's microphone.
I was.
We're
I was
trying to
just
figure
using
this out.
Peter's mic.
Can you hear me very well from this?
It's faint.
Not as good as usual.
It's not as good as past weeks.
What about during the whole service? Was it faint?
Nope. Yep.
Yes.
I couldn't tell where you were.
It's very hard to hear the page numbers.
Yes.
Very soft.
Just keep.
During the
talking.
service, we heard the Chazan better, but not as good as before.
Right.
I'm gonna.
0.
Nothing.
All right, I'm gonna yell. So this is the time where we share what we're grateful for, what we're thankful for.
That's better.
What?
I'm grateful just to be able to hear
Are
you.
these much better now, guys?
You're
Yes.
good.
What about the rabbi?
Hello?
Is he talking?
I think you turned it off. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So look, see, mine's showing, but yours was not showing. When yours was not flashing green.
That's much
Okay,
better.
is this showing now better?
Yes.
Okay.
How's
There we
this? Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Okay. We'll try this the third time. This is the time where we share what we're grateful for, what we're thankful for. So if you'd like to share, Barry's in control of the meeting. For him to see you, recognize you, try raising your hand electronically in the chat box or in the participant window. There's a button to raise hand. Or you could wave your hand in front of your face and hope that he can find your screen. All right, Gail and Larry.
Okay, I am thankful for having celebrated 58 years of marriage with my husband on Wednesday.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov.
And looks happy about it too.
I am.
Go ahead, Gina.
All right, Gina.
Hello. Last week, due to surgery on my kneecap, in case those who don't know it, I fell and broke my kneecap. I was unable to, or Bernie and I were unable to say Yortzeit last week. So I'm very glad that we have Zoom and we can say our Yortzeits tonight. And I'm on my way to a recovery and 7 to 8 weeks for the surgery and 6 months for a full recovery.
Wow.
But I'm on my way.
Refuah Shlema. We know you'll make it.
Thank you.
You know how I know Gina's going to make it? Because one time she
There's
broke
a
her finger and she
baby.
didn't want to leave the kitchen, even though she had a broken finger.
Ow.
All right, Jordan, Aaron, Cleo.
Jeffrey.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're blocked by a window in the.
I just want to say how thankful I am, and Bonnie the same, for having little girls moving on in their education. Graduated
We're getting muffled from you, Jeffrey.
Sorry?
We can't hear you.
You're muffled.
You got to be closer to the microphone.
Okay.
Now we hear you.
Oh, really? Okay. Anyhow, Bonnie and I are very thankful that our two girls have done so well in school. Today, Catherine went through her virtual culmination parade at Balboa Magnet. She's going next year to Lawrence Gifted, and Bridget had an incredible experience today at Lawrence Gifted. She's moving on to Cleveland Humanities, and we're totally proud of both of them for their accomplishments this year and just in the past, and we know we're the same in the future. You're welcome.
Mazel tov. We're very proud too.
Thank you.
Ehud, can you hear us?
Am I on?
Yes.
You are on.
Okay. I'm thankful for two things. My son Jay and his wife Teresa have been traveling in a motorhome for 3 weeks now, and decided to not stay at home but see the part of the country. And they just came home last night safely. And next week is their granddaughter, my great-granddaughter's bat mitzvah, a week from Saturday. So
Wonderful.
we will have to Zoom it, but we'll have about 10 people in the backyard, and she's doing great, and we're all excited.
Beautiful. Mazel tov. Lots of nachas.
Thank you.
Oh, it's my parents.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
We are very grateful, first of all, that our family is well. And that's something special these days. And we're very proud of our grandson, Eitan, who finished fifth grade and transitioned to middle school. Yichi.
Yay, we are too. Thanks for staying up late for us. I guess it's not so late in New Haven.
No, it's not late.
Bird and Elaine.
Hi. We are going to celebrate our 63rd anniversary at the end of this month.
Wow.
Mazel tov. And we're glad that you said someone helped you out get on Zoom. We're glad that he helped you get on Zoom.
Yeah, we did.
I'm glad I finally got into the 21st century.
Welcome. It's a fascinating world. You may want to skip 2020. It's not turning out to be such a hot year. Phil.
Hello, Rabbi. I just wanted to share, it's been a really, really difficult battle for Shayna's daughter, but she just graduated with her master's degree. Yay.
Hey, mazel tov.
Really hard work.
Wonderful. Lots of nachas for you guys too.
Don't wake up Shayna, though. She looks like she's sleeping back there.
Anyone else that we missed? If you try raising your hand electronically or waving it in front. All right.
One more.
Oh, we got Renee.
You're muted, Renee. You have to let me unmute you.
You're muted, Renee.
Unmute yourself, Renee. Unmute on the unmute.
It was.
There we hear you. Good.
There you go.
Unmute.
That's good.
We got you. We got you now.
We got you now.
Okay. Well, this is the day that Sydney, my granddaughter, was supposed to graduate from Northridge Academy. Of course, we all know what happened there. But anyway, this is the day, and I'm thrilled for her, and the family will get together tomorrow evening to celebrate.
Mazel
I can't
tov.
believe she made it. Okay.
All right. With all those beautiful thoughts, we'll pray the Amidah privately, 47 to 52, or just take the next few minutes for your own private meditations.
Na 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 Adonai. Na 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 tzvatai titach. Na 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 uviagid. Uviagid tehilatecha.
If you're still praying the Amidah, please continue at your own pace. We conclude the Amidah with Shalom Rav, the middle of page 51.
Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki atahu melech kadon lechol hashalom. Ki atahu melech kadon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et amcha Yisrael bechol heit v'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
Kaddish Shalem, page 54.
Yitkara Shemei Rabba Be'alma Divra Kirutei V'Mli Malchutei B'Chayechon V'Yomechon V'Chayin Chol Bein Yisrael Mangalav Izmangari Ve'Yimeru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabba Mevarach Le'alam U'Lalmiel Maya Yibarak V'Yishtabak V'Yitpa'ar V'Yitroma V'Yitnaseh V'Yitadar V'Yithalel V'Yithalal Shemed Kudesha Baruch Leila Mikol Birchata V'Shirata Toshbechata V'Nechemata Damiran Mialma V'Yimeru Amen. Titkabal Shloton V'Ton Chol Yisrael Kol Dam V'Hondi Mishmaya V'Yimeru Amen. Yehi Shalom Rav Mitzemaya V'Chayim Aleinu V'Yal Kol Yisrael V'Yimeru Amen. Oseh Shalom Bimromav Uyaseh Shalom Aleinu V'Yal Kol Yisrael V'Yal Kol Yoshvei Tevel V'Yimeru Amen.
Can you hear me okay? Clear? Clear enough? Thumbs up if you can hear me okay? Okay, fantastic. Good Shabbos, everyone. Some men see things as they are and ask why. I dream of things that never were and ask why not. That was a quote from Robert Kennedy. He's pointing out that there's, I think, a big difference between fixing something that exists and starting something from scratch. Both processes, though, I think require imagination, but the second one, I think, requires much more. I think that people are, by nature, conservative. We want a certain amount of consistency, predictability in our lives. Certainly, some of us like novelty and trying new things. Other us shun that completely. We want things to be 100% static, perfectly stable. But I think in general, the vast majority of us want predictability, but we also understand that change is a part of life. And certainly if life is unbearable, if it's painful, if it's unjust, even against our conservative instincts, we know that things must change. I think that's what we're seeing today. The pain of racism that was bubbling below the surface has broken through once again. George Floyd's murder has made many people say it's time to change. The questions are what and how? And to answer those questions, we have to be willing to think creatively and adaptively, to have a greater imagination than we've ever had before. I'm happy that ideas are starting to coalesce, but I'm also nervous that things will either move too fast and the changes will just be, window dressing and not be substantive, or that there'll be interminable delays and that nothing at all will be done. I think there has to be a balance between the knee-jerk reactions and the resistance to change so that we can actually have some thoughtful change occurring. I think, as I mentioned last week, a part of it really has to do with educating ourselves about how racism has shaped our country's history, from slavery to Jim Crow and segregation to lynching to reactions to the civil rights movement to the war on drugs to policing Black communities to now mass incarceration in private prisons. Just one example. So I read an article this week that was interviewing a police officer who said that he could stop any car for any reason. You just had to follow it long enough. They would engage in some minor traffic infraction, driving a few miles over the speed limit, failing to signal properly. Now he has a legal reason to pull them over. He says he could just write them a citation and be done, or he can question them, kind of harangue them, provoke them until they react. And now he says the reaction is now suspicious. He now has the legal reason to remove them from their car, to arrest them if they refuse or resist in some way. Now, if Black people are stopped 10 times more often, as is cited in some articles that I read, 10 times more often than white people, how often do those interactions with police go sour, turn into an arrest because a police officer has that power? Now, I wouldn't say that that necessarily is a bad police officer. Maybe it's a good police officer, as most police officers are. Why would a good officer even do that? Well, if promotions are based on arrests made and tickets issued, good officers have positive incentives to find people to arrest. Similarly, there's this problem of incentives with the private prison system. Private prisons have an interest in keeping people in prison because it serves their business. It makes them profit. About 10% of prisoners in the United States are privately run prisons. These are for-profit companies that run prisons. From 2000 to 2016, the entire US prison population grew by 9%, but the population within the private prison system grew by 47%. Instead of rehabilitation, they have this vested interest in incarceration. If prisoners get better and don't come back, they lose money, they could go out of business. I think we would all hope that it's in our government and the state's interest to have less crime, to have fewer arrests, to have fewer people going to prison. But if we incentivize punishment, then that's what we're going to do. Obviously, I think we all understand that's a broken system. If instead we incentivize figuring out ways to resolve problems without having to arrest people and send them to prison, we would probably see more of that. Think about the situation that we're living in right now. We're living in a pandemic. There's a coronavirus. It's killing people. It's being spread by people, and we can't stop it. I shouldn't say that. We could stop it. We could stop it tomorrow. If everyone had to stay in their house for a day, we tested every single person, and then anybody who tested positive, we killed them. That would stop the spread really fast. Obviously, I'm being hyperbolic. That's too drastic. Okay. Instead, we're just going to lock up everybody who has it for a month. That would stop the spread also. Now, we're never going to do that in the United States, but it would work. But I think we all understand in terms of our civil rights being taken away, and also just the mentality of going about it in that way, that it's a pro-punishment kind of mentality. And that's part of the problem. There are many ways to solve society's ills. Poverty, drug addiction, mental illness, homelessness, crime. They're not only going to be solved through policing. So as I dig down deep, and I was reading a lot this week, when protesters talk about defunding the police, they don't mean disbanding the police. They mean shifting resources, finding alternative solutions. The protesters are asking us to imagine a different way of doing things. Right now, if we have a crime problem, we immediately know the solution is more police. Now, maybe that's the solution, maybe not. Let's say we increase policing, but crime still goes up. What's the reaction? Do we hear it's not working, so let's decrease police? Or do we hear, oh, crime is up, we need more police, the problem's getting worse? We probably hear that more often. Do we ever hear the converse? If there's a decrease in crime, do we ever say, oh, that's great, so we can now have fewer police because there's a decrease in crime? Probably not. Probably more likely we'll say, oh, it's working. Let's increase policing even more because it's working. So when crime increased, after increased policing, we said, let's still try more. When crime decreases after increased policing, we say, let's still try more. We never hear, that's not working, let's try something else. The answer is always increased policing. But we don't think about other issues in that same way. Think about homelessness. It's a huge problem here in Los Angeles. We have a homeless problem. We immediately know the solution, more shelter beds. Maybe that's the solution, maybe not. So we say, let's increase our spending on shelters, and homelessness goes up like it did. If you read in the newspaper today, homelessness went up. If homelessness goes down, we would say, decrease spending on shelters. It's working. We don't need to. There are fewer homeless people. We don't need to spend as much on shelters anymore. We never say, it's not working for homelessness, so let's increase our spending, or it's working for homelessness, let's increase our spending. We don't think of it the same way that we think of policing. Why don't we? If there are more homeless, certainly we would need to spend more on finding shelter beds. And if there are fewer homeless, but there are still homeless people who are unsheltered, I would say we would need to increase, because as long as there's still homeless people that don't have a place to sleep, we need more shelter beds. So when we think about problems, I think we're suffering from a failure of imagination. And yes, I'm not naive. I know it's also a problem of resources. If we had unlimited resources, we could solve every problem, but we don't. So we have to make priorities. We have to make choices. And I think, again, we have a problem of a failure of imagination. Too often, we think of just one solution. We have a homeless problem, more police. We have a mental health problem, send in the police. We have a drug problem, send in the police. Again, what I hear the protesters saying is, why are the police the primary solution to all of society's problems? Again, defund the police doesn't mean eliminate the police. It's not the best slogan, but what it means is the police aren't always the best solution to the problem at hand. It's hard, I get it, but we have to try expanding our imagination. In the Parsha, there's this very sad scene. The Israelites are complaining. They say to God, we don't have meat to eat like we used to have in the land of Egypt. Here they are, they're free from slavery. They got the Torah. They built the Mishkan. They have their portable tabernacle. They're getting manna for free to eat every single day, but they still can't imagine that their lives are better than it was being back in Egypt. So they complain to God, and God, you know what? He says, okay, you want meat? I'm going to give you so much meat till you're puking it, till you're sick of it. And he kills off a whole bunch of the Israelites because they're complaining, even after giving them the meat that they demand. I think this is also a moment where you could say God is having a failure of imagination as well, not one of his best days. On the one hand, yes, he gives them what they want. On the other hand, he can't deal with their complaining. So it's not the best day. Can we imagine a different way for the Israelites to deal with their issue? Can we imagine a better way for God to deal with the Israelites complaining? I'm sure that we could. I have a great imagination. I think I can imagine a lot. I think I can imagine that if we can train a 19-year-old to be a police officer, that we can train that same 19-year-old to be a social worker, to be a youth counselor, to be a teacher. If we can train a 19-year-old to enforce our laws and entrust him with the ability to use deadly force in that job, then I imagine that we can train that same 19-year-old to be a mentor, to be a guide, to be a community builder, to be a bridge builder. Imagination. That's what's being asked of us today. Can we imagine what it's like to live as a Black person where you fear the police more than you revere the police? Can we imagine what it's like in poor communities that face not just financial poverty, but poor health, poor education, poor opportunities, poor government services, and the one government service that they see is policing? Can we imagine what our own city would look like if there were good schools across the city? Can we imagine what our city would look like if there were good job opportunities across the city? Can we imagine what our city would look like if there were access to affordable healthcare, both physical and mental, across the city? Can we imagine what our city would look like if there was a safe place to sleep inside for every person in our city? If we can imagine all of that, then I think we can also imagine that we might not need the police quite as much as we need them today. That's what they're asking us to imagine. Do you see things as they are and ask why? Or can you imagine things that never were and ask why not? Shabbat Shalom. We have two celebrations to mark tonight. It is both anniversary Shabbat and graduation Shabbat. So we have a number of people that we want to recognize. So I'm going to go through my list and hopefully I don't leave anyone off. A lot of people like to get married in June. So we have the following anniversaries that we are celebrating this month. Manya and Ami Monson celebrating on June 1st, their 12th anniversary. Also on June 1st, Madeline Newman celebrating their 51st anniversary. And also on the 1st, Oscar and Sylvia Warnick celebrating, I think, yes, they win the prize for longest, 73rd anniversary. Amazing. On the 3rd, Phyllis and Eliza Fleshler are celebrating their 2nd, although I think that's their 2nd of the 2nd, because I think they were married once before. On the 8th, Leonard and Helen Mendelsohn celebrating 68 years. On the 9th, I and Jonathan Schechter celebrating 11 years. On the 10th, Mark and Elaine Stover celebrating 37 years. And also Gary and Lel Fiber, as they said, celebrating 58 years. Tonight, Jules and Betty Marks celebrating 71 years together. Amazing. On the 15th, Mark and Joyce Joseph celebrating 51 years. On the 16th, Jordan and Natalie Tolila celebrating 18 years. Chai, Mazel Tov. On the 17th, Jeff and Lisa Whiteman celebrating 20 years. Also on the 17th, Marshall and Carol Goldberg celebrating 58 years. On the 19th, Alan and Roberta Fox celebrating 26 years. On the 20th, my in-laws, Rabbi David and Bonnie Vor celebrating 49 years. On the 22nd, Matthew and Leodore Eisenoff celebrating 6 years. On the 23rd, Rick and Diana Mark celebrating 29 years. Also on the 23rd, Izzy and Nadine Levy celebrating 57 years. And here he would make some joke about like that shows you can put up with anything. I'll make that bad joke for him. On the 24th, me and Alicia, is it I and Alicia? No, me and Alicia are celebrating 19 years. I and Alicia, I am celebrating. Okay, so I got that grammatically wrong. Whether grammatically correct or not, we're still celebrating 19 years. On the 25th, Rick and Maxine Simon celebrating 42 years. On the 25th also, Bert and Janet Governor are celebrating 53 years. On the 26th, Hagar and Michael Cantor celebrating 20 years. On the 28th, Neil and Rosalind Berg celebrating 28 years. On the 29th, Cheryl and Stuart Shapiro celebrating 45 years. On the 29th, Bob and Royce Golden celebrating 51 years. Also on the 29th, Bert and Elaine Margulis, as we heard, celebrating 63 years. And on the 30th, Alan and Joyce Judkowitz celebrating 35 years. Oh, and the Chazan is celebrated on June 2nd with Jody, his first anniversary. And they weren't there to do it together, but they celebrated virtually. All right, we'll give you the following blessing and then we'll sing to you, and then we're going to do our graduates. May God, who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Becca, Rachel, and Leah, bless all who are celebrating anniversaries this month in the month of June, and for thanking God, giving God gratitude for all their years together that God has afforded them. May the Holy Blessed One protect and deliver them. May they continue to enjoy God's blessings in the years to come, always living together in joy, in gladness, in peace, and companionship. All say, Amen. Siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, siman tov. Yehelanu, 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 ole ol Israel. 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 Mazel tov. Okay. Now for our graduates. Now some of our graduates are on with us, so we might get to actually hear from them if we're going to spotlight them. So first, we're going to go in order kind of your ages in school. So our preschool and kindergarten graduates, these are our preschool and kindergarten graduates. If you are on with us, raise your hand virtually or wave it in the screen and maybe Barry can spotlight you. For our ELC grads here at TRZ, Mazel Tov on your graduation to Claire Finnegan, Eli Skolnick, Chase Sheary, Sean Cantor, Adela Shamtube, Timmy Chow, Amelia Friedman, Caleb Katan, Ginny Carey, and Charles Nohavandi. Mazal Tov. And to members within our community, to their grandchildren, so Frank and Julie Steinschreiber's grandson Evan also graduated from preschool this year. And to Jan and Bert Governors, their grandson Ford graduated kindergarten at Bayview Charter. So Mazal Tov to all of them. Moving on to our elementary school grads. Now, for some of them, elementary goes through fifth and some goes through sixth. So we're going to do the fifth graders first. We have a few graduating from Castle Bay. We have Evan Hall, Serena Christian, Julian Berzon, Noah Wagner, Aaron Paul. I think those are all of our graduates from Castle Bay. Mazal Tov. Leah Rose is also, there's Serena. Hey, Serena, you want to tell us where you're going? Where are you going, Serena?
I'm going to SOSIS, Sherman Oaks Charter School.
Mazel Tov. All right. There's anybody else who's online? All right. Leah Rose is graduating, and she is giving the culmination speech at her school. Mazel Tov to her. Daniel Kravitz also graduating from Pamela Charter. The Tsur triplets, Zoe, Ethan, and Noah are graduating from Van Gogh. Katie Stern, as we heard, is graduating from Balboa, going on to Lawrence. Brooklyn Varela is graduating from Dearborn. Ian O'Rourke's graduating from Porter Ranch. And my son, as you heard, Eitan is graduating from, there's Katie, hey. Eitan Sal is graduating from Kadima. We also have Amos and Deion Schwartz's grandson, Cardin, is graduating from elementary school. Mazal Tov. Our sixth grade elementary school graduates, Jonah Mass is graduating from VBS, and Maxine and Ricky Simon's granddaughter, Bela, is graduating sixth grade from elementary school. So Mazal Tov to all of them. Our middle school graduates, we have Peter Hall graduating from Lawrence, going on to Chatsworth. We have Micah Margolin from Patrick Henry. Zoe Snyder's graduating. Brooke Aaron from Lincoln. Bridget Stern. Can we go back to the Sterns? Bridget, hey, go from Lawrence to? Lawrence to? You can say it if you want.
Cleveland Magnet?
To Cleveland Magnets. Mazel Tov. Also in the community, Natalie and Steve Berger's grandson Nolan is graduating from a school called Gateway up in Washington where they live. Jen and Bert Governor's granddaughter Allison is graduating from Gaspar de Portola and she's going to Taft. Amos and Dan Schwartz's granddaughter Sophia is graduating from Heschel. And those are all of our middle school graduates and Jonas and Lucas are graduating and they're going on to Brentwood. And what? And Matan is graduating from He's going to Chatsworth as well. Mazal tov. Our high school graduates, and I apologize again if I left anybody off. It's only if you send me an email or post it on Facebook so I know. Sydney Vivanco, as we heard, is graduating from Northridge Academy High School. The way Renee said it was almost like few, but it's not few. She was fantastic, and she was the student body president there. So mazal tov to Sydney. Sean Larman is graduating from he's graduating from VAS, from Valley Academy of Arts and Sciences. He's going to Moore Park next year. Hannah Chubins graduated from Granada, and she's going on to Reed College in Oregon. Rachel Pistol graduated from SOSIS, and she's going on Nativ. That's the program that I went on, that Danielle went on to Israel, study at Hebrew U and volunteer. And Jen and Burke Governor's granddaughter Erin is graduating from El Camino and heading to CSUN. So mazal tov to all of our high school graduates. Our two college graduates that I was told about, we have Gina Mann. That's Dave and Nancy's granddaughter. She graduated from Beacon College. She's going on to a university called Webster, where she's going to be studying psychology. And also, Gloria Schur's grandson, Sam Weiss, graduated from Ohio State, magna cum laude. And I'm not sure what he's doing next year, but something I know it's related to law or international studies, something like that. So all doing wonderful things. And we want to offer all of our graduates the following blessing. May all your learning lead to wisdom. May all your labors lead to success. May all your knowledge lead you to kindness. May the path before you lead you to blessings, and may your studies never cease. May all your prayers be answered. And we all say, Amen. What would you like to sing to them? We can just sing Simon Tov again. No, you have something special?
This is a Debbie Friedman, a little bit of a Debbie Friedman tune that we adjust a little bit. Goes like this. It's the blessing for you on your travels going forward. May you be blessed as you go on your way. May you find all happiness on this day. May God's grace and countenance shine upon you as you move through these days. And let us say, Amen, 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 Amen.
Mazal tov to all of our graduates. We're very proud of you. We're going to conclude our service with Aleinu. If you're able to, please rise. We're in the Siddur. We're back on page 56. We're just adjusting our camera so we can see the ark as Bob opens it for us. Page 56, Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות אדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא, שהוא רואה שמיים ויוסד הארץ, ומה שביקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובה מרובים. הוא אלוהינו אין עוד, אמת מלכנו וזולתו, ככתוב בתורתו, וידעת היום והשבות אל לבבך. כי אדוני הוא האלוהים בשמיים ממעל, ועל הארץ מתחת אין עוד. Ein od al kein kabergar ze khamesh
ככתוב בתורתך, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא, ביום יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמה
In love, remember those who no longer walk this earth. We're grateful to God for the gift of their lives, for the joys we shared, and for the cherished memories that never fade. This week will mark the yahrzeit of Marilyn Alpert, Eileen Burkus, Alfred Birch, Herbert Brodsky, Frida Sarah Cantor, Libby Cohen, Sherry Ann Dern, Andrea Farkas, Rose Firestein, Florence Fox, Rose Frankel, Earl Goldberg, Eva Goodman, Paulina Grinblatt, Anna Herman, Helen Judkowitz, Christopher Karamanos, Rose Carl, Jack Kaufman, Albert Lapidus, Max Levine, Stanley Litvin, Carl Nash, Henry Olins, Mayor Paparo, Tina Ponaroff, David Ressman, Faye Rockoff, Linda Sammons, Rose Shulkin, Selig Senft, Sarah Dax Soffen, Lillian Stiller, Ruth Stone, and Simon Fred Suffin. I invite those in mourning and those observing yahrzeit to please rise and join together with me in sanctifying God's name with the words of the mourner's Kaddish. If you're joining us through Zoom and you'd like to unmute your microphones, you can do so now so that we can all say the Kaddish together. Page 58, the mourner's Kaddish. Itgadal v'itgadash shemei rabba, ve'alma divra chirutei, ve'amnich malachutei, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayi d'chol beit Yisrael, v'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yesh me rabba mevorach le'olam lamel maya. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו אלה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו אמן. עושה שלום במרומיו ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ואמרו amen. Yisher Koach, and thank you as usual to the Chazan and to Bob for a beautiful service and beautiful accompaniment. Coming up this next week, I'm taking some time off, so there will be no Taste of Torah during the week, but you can still learn about the mystical calligraphy of the Sofer on Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. And the Cantor's new podcast.
Yes, so it's going to be you can see it on 2 times. It'll be on Wednesday evening, first at 5 and then again at 7. Same. I want to say show, but yeah, same cast. But this week, we're going to be hearing from Jacqueline Raffi, Cantor soloist who's also a composer. And every week I'll have a new artist or cantor or something to share with Jewish music, and it's going to be exciting.
She's good. She was here for the concert last year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I wanted to also thank everybody who watched the concert last Sunday. It was a rousing success, we feel, and we've had over now 520 or so views, which is like a very good thing for us on our YouTube channel. If you do want to share it, please feel free to go to the channel and just share it with people. It's a wonderful way to bring a little bit of joy into people's lives, especially around Shabbat. And so again, I just want to thank all of you for viewing, for participating, and for all those that donate. Thank you very, very much. The temple thanks you very, very much.
We do. We appreciate all your support. If you missed it, go on TRZ's YouTube channel and you can find the concert. We will have Shabbat services next week. We are working on our reopening plan, and there's a possibility that we will have the option for some people to come in person next Friday. So stay tuned. We'll let you know during the week if that is an option for us, but we are working towards that. But we'll still be virtual in terms of access through Zoom or through YouTube, no matter what. So even if you can't come or if we're not in person yet, you can always access us through that. So just look out in your emails for more information. It is registration time. Please send in your membership. If you want that discount for signing up and paying in full before July 1st, you've got just about 2 weeks to do that. So make sure you can do it. If you need help, just email Deborah in the office or call and leave a message and she'll set an appointment time to help you with that. What else is coming up?
Just going into the wonderful days of summer. Enjoy your summer as best you can.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Barry, did I miss any announcements?
No, but tomorrow morning, do a mic check.
Yes.
Because your sound is off and you need to try it different ways. With Chazan singing, it sounds different than when you talk. And when you both talk, it's different too. So you have to do different combinations to test the volumes because you don't sound as good as you normally sound.
Tell them to just get $20 speakers and everything will be fine.
Does it come through okay though now? Is it coming through?
No. It's coming through.
It's not coming through?
Tinny.
Tinny. Ah.
Now you're not muted.
How about now? Is that tinny?
Do it again.
Do it again.
Not loud enough.
Shabbat Shalom.
Sounds better, more volume.
Shabbat Shalom.
We have to do some
Shabbat, 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 Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That's better.
All right, we'll keep working on it. We got lights tonight, so we weren't all backlit. That was an improvement. By the time we figure this all out, who knows? Anyway, we'll conclude with
Ojavo Shalom Aleinu.
Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. May peace soon come to all of us.
Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu ve'al kulam. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Salam Aleinu ve'al kol ha'olam. Salam Shalom. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ojavo Shalom Aleinu. Ve'al kulam.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Some assistance with this. I'm going to get a headset, but what in terms of last week, it's not cutting in and out though, correct? It's just the quality of the sound.
That's right.
That's good,
Very
correct?
faint. You're very faint right now. You were better before.
Can you turn up the volume on your
It's
computers in any way?
100%.
We're at 100.
We're at
You're at 100.
next.
Now, when the rabbi was speaking earlier, his sound versus video was further out of sync than it had been in the past.
Yeah.
Further out of sync.
Yeah, so
Cat
audio
was also
visual
muffled.
wasn't connected, synced up.
Also, it sounded a little muffled.
It's muffled.
A little muffled.
The rabbi's mic is bad.
Maybe that's it. Right now, though, are you hearing this clearly right now?
Clearly, but not
Very
loud.
low.
Very low.
But not very loud.
Right.
This is crazy.
Hi, Nance.
Hi, Phyllis.
Yeah.
Just so you know, we
Okay.
spent $20 on speakers and everything was perfect.
Hi, Janet.
Perfect, because on
Awesome.
the computer
So
by
those of you who had speakers, you're
hear
saying that the
anything.
sound was really good and clear?
perfect.
Yeah. With the external speakers, it's fine.
Outstanding.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of what we're putting in now, which we think should be good. And it's, you know, at least we can both talk at the same time or sing at the same time, and you shouldn't have any break in the sound. So it's a combination of download speed and upload speed, and also it's a combination of your technology on your end, your download speed and upload speed.
We also
Through a
have
mixer?
Spectrum is coming out Sunday to try to figure out why our internet is so bad compared to what it should be. So that's
Well, we just upgraded, so we're working on that. We just upgraded our internet here. So it shouldn't be that bad anymore.
Well, we upgraded ours, but when we found out when they tested it that we were running at 1/4 the speed that it's supposed to be.
Right. So we had Ben here today, and hopefully he's, we're working on all of this stuff.
They have a mesh. Dave has a mesh.
Dave has a mesh.
Yeah.
Hey, everyone.
So guys, when I go to this microphone, are you getting any sound?
It's louder, but
Yes.
yes.
Very good. Fine.
It's good now, right?
But it's
Very
muffled.
good. That's the
It's
best.
muffled?
Yes.
Your mouth is too close to the speaker. It's muffled.
Microphone.
How's this?
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Okay.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Yeah. So unfortunately, the internet still here is a little inconsistent. So we had to do a hotspot on the rabbi's phone. So we're going to
That's why.
take that off now, unfortunately, because he's going to go home and have dinner with his family, of course. And so we'll have to continue this tomorrow. But I'll look at some stuff with this new technology and see if we can get the signal increased to you guys. And but I think it's a start. So thank you very much, and good Shabbos, everybody.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
So I think you have to.